Last May, I made a video talking about how a fellow YouTuber, Don from Nova Spirit Tech, had been diagnosed with cancer. Now, I knew that diagnosis wasn't good, but I kept hoping that maybe one day I would hop on YouTube and see that he had posted an update where maybe there was some good news, maybe he was cancer-free, but sadly, that day never came. Instead, yesterday afternoon, I was notified from someone that he had passed away. Now, I didn't know Don personally. We did have some exchanges through DMs on Discord where we talked about his diagnosis, but we also talked about some YouTube stuff and some projects we were both working on. But I was a really big fan of his channel. In fact, his content actually played a pretty big role in my life, and maybe that's why I feel a little bit compelled to make this video. Back in 2020, I got into doing a little bit of programming and eventually decided I wanted to figure out how to host some of the stuff I was programming, and ended up stumbling across a few different YouTube channels, including Nova Spirit Tech. Don's videos actually introduced me to quite a bit. There's a lot of things that I self-host now that I hadn't heard of before. Like, I'm pretty sure he introduced me to Plex and then later on Jellyfin, and actually I'm pretty sure his channel was how I first discovered Ventoy. Watching his videos was a big part of how I got into the hobby of self-hosting and tinkering with computers, and then that hobby quickly developed into a hobby of making videos about tinkering with computers and self-hosting, and then that hobby eventually turned into what's now my career. Now, obviously there's no way to say whether or not I had watched his videos that I would or wouldn't be doing the job I'm doing now, but what I can say for sure is that his passion for technology and his positivity have been a really big influence on me, and learning about his death was pretty crushing. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really know what's best to do in situations like this, and I'm definitely not the person to come to say the right things or whatever, but I know there's two things that I'd like to say. First of all, to Don's family, I am so sorry for your loss. I didn't know him personally, but he seemed from afar like a great person, and considering how much this is affecting me, I can't imagine what you guys are going through. I'd also like to say thank you to his family because, well, I know firsthand what it takes to be a YouTuber and how much time and sacrifice that takes, but it's not just my time and my sacrifice. I know my family has sacrificed as well, and it takes a support structure to be able to do this and do it well. And so, obviously, I don't know Don's family, but I would assume they played a pretty large role in helping support him so that he could have the massive impact that he had on the tech community. So, to Don's family, I just want to say thank you. Second, I know there's probably a lot of you out there that would like to help in some way. I've been told by someone close to the family that for his funeral, rather than sending flowers, they've asked instead for donations for his son's 529 college savings plan. Now, once again, I didn't know Don personally, so I can't speak for him, but as a father myself, I can't really think how tough it would be to process through the idea of knowing that I might leave my child behind. But I think by knowing that maybe something that I had worked on, like my YouTube channel, would be able to help provide for him after I'm gone, that thought would probably bring me some peace. So if you guys are interested in helping and you want to donate, I'll have some information down in the description on how you can do so. Just know you will need to be a US resident. However, if you are from outside the United States and you're interested in donating, you might check out his Discord, which I'll also link down in the description. I've been talking to a few of his moderators, and I think they're trying to come up with a solution for international viewers to be able to donate. So if you're like me and you really enjoyed watching Don's videos, maybe consider donating as a way of sort of giving back. And if you haven't ever watched any of Nova Spirit Tech's videos, I highly encourage you to. Just because he's no longer with us doesn't mean his work, his creativity, and his positivity aren't. And speaking of it, that positivity is something that's really stuck with me. Even after his diagnosis, he managed to keep tinkering and keep learning and keep helping his audience, all while staying surprisingly positive. So I think one of the best ways we can honor Don is to follow in his example. Let's all keep learning, keep tinkering, keep loving tech, and maybe let's all try to stay a little bit more positive in the process. As much as I'll miss seeing his videos pop up in my feed, I think we can all still celebrate what all he did, who he was, and how much he impacted all of us. And I feel like I'd be a bit remiss if I didn't end this video by saying, hack till it hurts.